What if the secret to feeling 18 again, to waking up with clear eyes, stable energy, and a sharp mind, isn't hidden in a pharmacy aisle, but has been waiting quietly in the back of your refrigerator all along? Most of us have been led to believe that feeling old is just an inevitable slide into fatigue and stiffness. We are told that our metabolism slows down, our joints wear out, and our brain fog is just part of the package deal of hitting 60. But here is the truth that most standard dietary advice completely misses. Aging isn't just about the passage of time, it is about signaling. The foods we eat are not just calories, they are chemical messengers. Every bite you take sends a direct instruction to your cells. You are either telling your body to inflame, store fat, and degenerate, or you are telling it to repair, energize, and rejuvenate. The difference between a vibrant, active signon and one spent in a rocking chair often comes down to these specific biological signals. We have curated a comprehensive list of 10 specific powerhouse foods. Some you likely ignore, and one ultimate secret at the very end that serves as the missing link for your gut and brain. This isn't just a grocery list. It is a prescription for vitality. We will move from the foundational changes to the most surprising, game-changing revelations. You need to stay until our final number 1 revelation, because it involves a specific type of food that researchers are now linking to the youth hormone, something that can physically change how you age. You do not want to miss that. Just a quick, important reminder before we dive in. All the information shared today is for educational purposes. Everyone's health situation is unique, so please consult your doctor or healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your diet, exercise, or health regimen, especially if you have pre-existing conditions or are on medication. Let's use this knowledge to have informed discussions with them. Now, let's begin this journey with insight number 10, a leafy green that does something quite extraordinary for your circulation. We are talking about arugula. You might think of arugula as just a peppery garnish that restaurants throw on top of a fancy pizza or a side salad. However, for those of us in our 60s and beyond, this vegetable is a critical tool for cardiovascular health. One of the most common challenges we face as we age is the stiffening of our arteries. Over decades, our blood vessels can lose their elasticity, becoming like old, dried-out garden hoses left in the sun. When the hose is stiff, the pressure inside rises, and your heart has to work much harder to pump blood to your brain and extremities. But arugula offers a potent solution because it is one of the most nitrate-dense vegetables on the planet. When you chew this leafy green, your body begins a chemical conversion process that turns those dietary nitrates into nitric oxide. To truly grasp how this works, imagine your arteries are a busy highway during rush hour. Inflammation and age act like lane closers, causing traffic jams and high pressure. Nitric oxide acts like the master traffic controller that opens up extra lanes, a process called vasodilation. It signals the smooth muscle cells in your arteries to relax and widen. Therefore, by incorporating arugula into your daily routine, you aren't just eating a salad. You are actively lowering the resistance within your circulatory system. This means better blood flow, not just to your heart, but to your eyes, your kidneys, and yes, it even helps with conditions like erectile dysfunction. It is a full-body circulation booster. Plus, as a cruciferous vegetable, it carries potent anti-cancer properties. My personal recommendation: don't just eat it dry. Drizzle it with olive oil and perhaps a sprinkle of nutritional yeast for some B vitamins. The fat helps you absorb the nutrients, and the flavor profile is delicious. Building on that salad base, we move to insight number 9, a pantry staple that you probably have, but might be using wrong. Extra virgin olive oil. There is a lot of confusion surrounding fats. For years, we were told to fear fat, leading many of us to swap traditional oils for processed seed oils, like corn, canola, or soybean oil. However, this was a massive misstep for public health. Your cells are literally wrapped in a double layer of fat. The membrane of every single cell in your body needs high-quality lipids to function correctly. If you feed your body cheap, inflammatory seed oils, it is like trying to build a house with rotten wood. It might stand up for a while, but it will eventually crumble under stress, leading to systemic inflammation. Real, high-quality extra virgin olive oil is different. It is loaded with phytonutrients that are incredibly powerful anti-inflammatories and antioxidants. Think of it this way. Your body's cells are like engines. Over time, engines rust. This biological rust is what we call oxidation. Olive oil acts like a premium anti-rust coating. It protects your mitochondria, the tiny energy factories inside your cells, allowing them to burn fuel cleanly without creating excess smoke or inflammation. Therefore, you should be generous with this liquid gold. But here is the catch. It must be real extra virgin olive oil. Unfortunately, the market is flooded with adulterated oils. When you taste your oil, you should feel a little tickle or a biting sensation in the back of your throat. That specific sensation is the polyphenols working. It's a sign of potency. If it tastes like nothing, it's doing nothing. So, find a reputable brand, perhaps from Spain or Italy, and don't just cook with it. Pour it on your veggies. It helps with blood clotting issues and is a cornerstone for heart health. Now, let's look at protein with key strategy number 8. Wild-caught salmon. We often hear about fish being brain food, but for seniors, this is critical because of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically DHA and EPA. The issue we face in the modern world is a severe imbalance. Our diets are incredibly high in omega-6 fatty acids, which are found in processed foods and seed oils. While we need some omega-6, an excess creates a state of chronic inflammation in the body, what I call the itis diseases. Arthritis, tendinitis. Wild-caught salmon provides a massive dose of the antidote, omega-3s. But there is a crucial distinction here between wild-caught and farm-raised. Farm-raised fish are often fed corn and soy, foods they would never eat in the wild, and can be dyed pink to look appetizing. Wild salmon, on the other hand, consume a natural diet that makes them rich in selenium and healthy fats. Imagine your brain cells are like smartphones trying to send messages to each other. If you lack omega-3s, the signal is weak, static-filled, and calls get dropped. This manifests in our daily lives as brain fog, memory slips, or just feeling slow. Omega-3s from salmon upgrade your biological network to 5G. They insulate the nerve fibers, ensuring the signal is crisp, clear, and fast. Therefore, aim for this fatty fish at least a couple of times a week. And here is a pro tip that might make you squeamish, but is vital. Eat the skin. The area right underneath the skin is where the highest concentration of those precious fats and collagen resides. If you are worried about mercury, don't be. The high selenium content in wild salmon binds to mercury and helps flush it out of your body, making it one of the safest seafood choices you can make. Moving to a delicious and often unfairly demonized addition to your diet, insight number 7 involves high-quality cheese. Yes, you heard that right. We aren't talking about processed cheese singles wrapped in plastic that resemble orange rubber. We are talking about real, aged, full-fat cheeses, ideally from grass-fed sources or imported from Europe where quality standards are strict. The fear of saturated fat has scared many seniors away from cheese, leading to a calcium paradox. We take calcium supplements for our bones, but often that calcium ends up in our arteries instead, causing stiffness. However, quality cheese is a fermented food, meaning it is easier to digest. And crucially, it is a source of vitamin K2. To understand why this matters, think of calcium like a delivery truck full of bricks. You want those bricks delivered to the construction site, your bones, not dumped in the middle of the highway. Your arteries. Vitamin K2 acts as the logistics manager. It grabs the calcium from the bloodstream where it could harm you, and physically escorts it into the bone matrix, where it strengthens you. Therefore, a slice of high-quality aged cheese isn't a guilty pleasure. It is a strategic move to keep your arteries soft and your bones hard. Plus, cheese contains CLA, a compound that can help with fat burning, and it is naturally low in carbs because the fermentation process eats up the milk sugar. So, enjoy that high-quality brie, Gouda, or cheddar without guilt. This next one is going to make you smile. Insight number 6 is dark chocolate. Now, before you rush to the candy aisle, we need to be specific. We are talking about 85% cocoa or higher. The commercial milk chocolate bars are sugar bombs that will spike your insulin and defeat the purpose. But real, bitter, Dark chocolate is a serious The reason we crave chocolate often isn't just about the taste. It is our body crying out for magnesium. Magnesium is the master mineral that over 300 processes in your body rely on, including muscle relaxation, blood pressure regulation, and sleep. Yet, because of soil depletion, many of us are critically deficient. Here is the analogy. Modern life keeps our internal stress switch flipped to the on position constantly. This burns us out and keeps our cortisol levels high. Magnesium is the hand that gently flips that switch to off. It calms the nervous system, relaxes tight muscles, and helps lower stress hormones. Dark chocolate is also loaded with polyphenols that increase nitric oxide, similar to a root. Therefore, having a small square of dark chocolate after lunch isn't cheating. It is providing your body with the raw materials it needs to de-stress and produce energy. It satisfies the palate, provides a massive antioxidant boost, stronger even than green tea, and feeds the good bacteria in your gut. Just remember to avoid eating it late at night, as it does contain mild stimulants that could keep you awake. At the halfway point, we have a small but mighty contender. Insight number 5. Brazil nuts. You do not need a handful of these. In fact, you shouldn't eat a handful. You only need 1 or 2 Brazil nuts a day. Why? Because they are the most potent source of selenium on planet Earth. For many women and men over 60, thyroid function begins to slow down. You might have the thyroid hormone, T4, floating around in your blood, but your body struggles to convert it into the active form, T3, that actually gives you energy and regulates your metabolism. Selenium is the essential catalyst for this conversion. Imagine your thyroid hormones are like workers showing up to a construction site. T4 are the workers who showed up but forgot their tools. They are present, but they can't build anything. Selenium is the supply truck that arrives and hands out the hammers and drills, turning those passive workers into active NMRD-producing T3 agents. Without selenium, the work stops. Furthermore, selenium is vital for your immune system's helper T cells, the generals of your immune army. Without selenium, the generals can't give orders, leaving you vulnerable to viruses and other pathogens. There is even data linking selenium deficiency to a higher susceptibility to autoimmune conditions. Therefore, treat Brazil nuts like a powerful natural supplement. Just 2 nuts a day provides the full coverage your thyroid and immune system are begging for. It is a simply inexpensive habit that pays massive dividends for your hormonal health. Now, prepare for a shift in perspective with insight number 4. Grass-fed hamburger. For decades, we have been told red meat is the enemy, a cause of diabetes and heart disease. However, when you strip away the bun, the ketchup, the fries, and the soda, and you focus on grass-fed beef, the story changes dramatically. As we age, one of the biggest threats to our independence is sarcopenia, the involuntary loss of muscle mass. It makes us frail and increases our risk of falls. To combat this, we need bioavailable protein and nutrients like zinc, iron, and B vitamins. While spinach has iron, it is very hard for the body to absorb. The heme iron in red meat is absorbed effortlessly. Think of grass-fed beef as high-octane fuel for your muscles. Unlike whey protein powder, which is pure protein and can actually spike your insulin quite high, fatty red meat comes with a matrix of healthy fats. This fat slows down digestion, keeping your blood sugar stable while providing the amino acids necessary to repair tissue. It also contains carnosine, a powerful anti-aging compound that supports longevity and muscle function. Therefore, do not fear a high-quality burger patty. I recommend getting the 80-20 mix, the one with more fat. Eat it with a knife and fork, paired with a salad. It creates a feeling of satiety and strength that is hard to beat. The studies vilifying meat often lump high-quality steak in with processed hot dogs. Your body knows the difference. Grass-fed beef is nutrient density that supports a strong, capable body. We are getting into the top 3, the heavy hitters. Insight number 3 is sauerkraut, but there is a catch. It must be raw and unpasteurized. The sauerkraut you find on the warm shelf in the middle of the grocery store has been pasteurized, heated to kill bacteria. That heat destroys exactly what we are looking for. You want the stuff found in the refrigerated cooler section, where the microbes are still alive. Gut health is the foundation of all health. As we age, our stomach acid weakens, making digestion harder and leaving us prone to issues like gastritis or ulcers. Sauerkraut is cabbage that has been predigested by beneficial bacteria. It is loaded with vitamin C, far more than the cabbage itself, and a unique compound called vitamin U. Think of the lining of your gut like the skin on your arm. If you scratch it, it gets red, inflamed, and painful. Vitamin U acts like an internal bandage. It accelerates the healing of the mucus layer in the stomach and intestines. This is why cabbage juice was used historically as a remedy for ulcers. Therefore, adding just a half cup of raw sauerkraut to your dinner does two things. It reseeds your gut with beneficial bacteria better than most expensive probiotic pills, and it physically heals the lining of your digestive tract. It aids in digestion, reduces bloating, and provides a massive boost to your immune system, which resides largely in your gut. Our runner-up, key strategy number 2, is a throwback that our grandparents likely knew well. Cod liver. You can buy this in a can, often packed in its own oil. While we talked about salmon earlier, cod liver is on another level entirely. It is arguably the most nutrient-dense food you can consume for a specific trifecta: omega-3s, vitamin A, and vitamin D. Vitamin D is crucial for immunity and bone health, and it works hand-in-hand with the vitamin K2 we got from the cheese. But getting enough vitamin D from the sun is difficult as we age, because our skin becomes less efficient at converting sunlight. Imagine your body is a house during a freezing winter. You need heat to keep the pipes from bursting. Omega-3s and vitamin D are the furnace and the fuel. Cod liver provides a concentrated blast of this fuel. It is fatty, rich, and incredibly satiating. It supports the brain, the eyes, and the heart in a way few other foods can. Now, a quick safety note: because it is so rich in vitamin A, you do not need to eat this every single day. Once or twice a week is sufficient to keep your levels topped up. And unlike drinking cod liver oil straight, which can sit heavy on the stomach, eating the liver itself is like eating a rich PT. Therefore, if you can acquire the taste for this, you are providing your brain and heart with a level of protection that is almost impossible to get from other foods. It is a super concentrated source of vitality. And now, we arrive at our ultimate game-changing revelation number 1. This is the secret weapon I hinted at earlier. It is a specific type of yogurt, but not the kind you buy in the store. It is a yogurt made with the microbe Reuteri. This isn't your standard sugary breakfast cup. This is a fermented product you can make at home using a specific starter culture. Lactobacillus. The magic lies in this specific bacteria. Modern hygiene, antibiotics, and processed foods have largely wiped this specific microbe out of the general population. But bringing it back has a profound effect on the body because of the gut-brain axis. When you consume this microbe, it stimulates the vagus nerve, which connects your gut directly to your brain. This stimulation triggers the release of oxytocin. You might know oxytocin as the love hormone. It's what you feel when you hug a loved one, hold a baby, or pet a dog. But biologically, oxytocin does much more than just make you feel warm and fuzzy. It actively lowers cortisol. Your stress hormone promotes deeper, more restorative sleep, and, fascinatingly, helps maintain muscle mass and skin thickness. Think of Reuteri as the social director of your body. When it is present, your body moves out of fight or flight and into rest and repair. Users of this specific yogurt often report a surge in empathy, a desire to socialize, and a physical feeling of youthfulness. My own experience was profound. After a week, my mood shifted noticeably, and I felt a sense of calm resilience I hadn't felt in years. Therefore, reintroducing this lost microbe is perhaps the most powerful biohack for seniors. It addresses the physical aspects of aging, like muscle loss and thinning skin, while simultaneously addressing the emotional aspects like mood and social connection. It turns the clock back from the inside out, using the body's own hormonal pathways. I strongly encourage you to look into making this yogurt. It is a small effort for a potentially life-changing result. So, there we have it. We have covered a vast landscape of nutrition today. We started with the vascular protection of arugula and the liquid gold of olive oil. We explored the brain-boosting power of wild salmon and the skeletal support of quality cheese. We looked at how dark chocolate can lower stress and how Brazil nuts shield your thyroid. We debunked the myths around hamburger and muscle fuel and discussed how sauerkraut acts as a gut remedy. We visited the nutrient density of cod liver. And finally, we revealed the youth-activating power of Reuteri yogurt. Each of these foods represents a tool in your kit. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet tomorrow. Start by adding 1 or 2, maybe swap your lunch lettuce for arugula. Maybe buy a jar of raw sauerkraut this weekend. Small, consistent signals to your body will eventually result in a loud, clear message of health. Which of these insights resonated with you the most? Are you tempted to try the youth yogurt? Or perhaps you are rethinking your stance on a good grass-fed burger? I would love to hear which strategy you are going to try first. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this journey through these health discoveries valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps others find our community. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more powerful strategies tailored for our fantastic group of healthy seniors. Until next time, stay healthy, stay curious, and keep thriving.